I used to launch something and wait for it to work. And when it wasn't turning out the way that I expected or the way that I wanted to, I would totally turn into imposter syndrome. I would do things to self sabotage and I would kind of start to hold myself back. And right now in my business, I am launching something new and that's not really happening. So I am going to walk through with you today what I'm doing differently as I'm launching my offer that I have right now, Magnetic Money. And I'm working on making changes in my business. Obviously offering new things. I have new offers available, and I am looking at growing and expanding in some ways with regards to my clinic as well. So I'm super, super excited about all the new things that are coming my way and opening up to me. But I also know that this is a huge piece where a lot of us get stuck is the gap. I'm here, I want to be over here in my business, my money. How do I work through that shift to be consistent, not give up on myself, not crumble under the aspects of stress and overwhelm? So what are the things that I'm doing? And that's what I'm going to share with you is how I'm navigating this. There's a lot of new things, and new things are exciting, but new things are also stressful in the sense that they're new, they're unfamiliar. You don't have proof that they're going to work or that they're going to turn out. And so I'm going to walk you through what I've been doing and how I'm kind of navigating this change. So welcome back to The Worthy Woman. My name is Johanna. If you're new here, this is the podcast where we talk about business, money, and it's more around the inner work and the nervous system, the subconscious mind, the stories we tell ourselves, and how we can actually start to shift that and shift our energy to attract a different result and to have success without burning ourselves out. So we are going to talk about today, like I said, kind of my journey, where I'm at right now, what I'm doing to navigate things. If you follow me on Instagram, which I highly suggest you do if you don't already, I actually just posted something this week around imposter syndrome, and it's kind of been creeping up on me as I'm launching my coaching program because it's brand new. I am launching the founders round right now. We start in September, and with that comes this sense of panic. Like, am I going to be able to make it happen? Is this something people want? Not knowing who's going to sign up or how I'm going to, meet new people or connect with people. And I know that this work can create massive change in people because it's created massive change in me. But whenever we're introducing something new, our nervous system and the stories, the programming, the fear starts to kind of come up and creep into things. And this is where the things that I teach, this is where this becomes super, super important. You can have strategy, you can have content strategies, you can have marketing strategies. But the thing is that when these things start to pop up, the fears, the insecurities, the imposter syndrome, you won't even stick with the strategy or the content or whatever you're supposed to be doing, right? That's where we can kind of fall back into old habits and kind of self-sabotage, right? So something that I have been working through right now is, like I said, that imposter syndrome, but also this sense and this feeling that I got to stay the course. So I've been working on really following through with what I say I'm going to do and like seeing it through to the end. And it's kind of this trusting the process. And so when you're kind of going through, again, trying to create something new that you haven't experienced before, again, a lot of these fears can start to show up. And so right now I'm trying to reiterate to myself and tell myself, hey, it's all good. You're doing the right things. Just hold faith, hold strong in what it is that you're doing and showing up and promoting yourself. And so in this time, I'm having to kind of like regulate myself a little bit, find ways to feel the discomfort that's coming up, but at the same time, regulate myself to build my capacity so that I can keep taking action. I can attract new things. I can do all that kind of stuff. So, a lot of times what I used to do was, I would feel imposter syndrome. I would panic. I would freak out. I would be stressed. I would start looking for, maybe there's a different strategy or approach I could take to this. Maybe there's a different way I could do this. And I would start like kind of grasping at all these different things to try to not feel what I was feeling. And I would never actually work on my energy or my mindset or what was coming up for me in that moment. So this time around, what I'm doing is, instead of trying to hop around to a different approach, a different technique, a different content strategy, a different marketing coach, like instead of kind of hopping all over the place or avoiding what I'm supposed to be doing altogether, I am being very intentional about the things that I do, how I speak to myself, how I show up. And it doesn't mean that I'm perfect by any means. Like there's definitely, negative thoughts and beliefs, and not as much criticism right now, but it's kind of just more of like, ooh, is that really possible? Kind of that self-doubt. And that process is what I'm trying to navigate through. So I'm having to kind of catch myself at as those things come up, and then reframe it, right? How can I shift it? How can I pivot out of that space to be in one that is more aligned with the goals I'm actually trying to create? Because when you're focused on things you don't want, you actually just get more of the things you don't want. So the other thing that I'm doing is I'm being very intentional, and this kind of ties into this, where it's like I'm being very intentional about my morning and my evening practices. I'm in a season of growth. When we are in this gap of I'm here and I want to be over here, or I want to have this result, but I don't yet have it, this is the place where people drop the ball. This is the place that your content strategy isn't doing what you think it's doing. This is your energy. This is how you're showing up. This is the effort you're putting into things, whether you post the piece of content or not. You have to hold strong with where you are now to where you're going. That in between is where you have to be so strong and secure in yourself. Again, it doesn't mean you're perfect, but you can use tools and resources and tools to help you rewire your subconscious mind, rewire your thoughts, your stories, shift your energetic frequency, shift your nervous system state. Those are the things that are going to help you get from where you are now to where you're trying to go. And so if you don't have those tools, or you don't know when to use what type of tool at what point, right? You might need a little bit more guidance or support, or maybe you're just a person who falls off the track and you're just like, I don't know how to get back onto where, like, the direction that I'm going in. So this is where coaching and stuff comes in really handy, because it's somebody who can walk with you while you're going through this. And this is something I wish I had when I started my coaching journey and I started trying to build a business online, is I wish more people were into this type of work and than they are now, like they are now. I have created my programs and I've created my offers as if it was me wanting this 5-6 years ago. So the support that you need to do this work, 1, to stay on track, and 2, just to know what the heck you should be doing, and 3, to have somebody who can see you, see your blocks, see your gaps, see where you're holding yourself back, kind of like check you a little bit, is super, super important to help you kind of keep moving forward on the path, instead of feeling like you get stuck and then you take 4 steps back and then you move forward again, and then you get stuck and then you take 4 steps back, and you're just in this like loop that you can't seem to get out of, right? So coaching helps you get out of that loop that you have found yourself in that is preventing you from getting to the place that you're trying to go. And so one of the things that I teach people is tools and practices. I have a lot of different things that I use, but I've been using them in the morning and I've been using them at night to start my day and end my day on a good note. I've also been looking at, okay, what are the small things that are working in my favor right now, that are happening, that are evidence that things are working, even if they're small. Sometimes we can kind of get caught up on like, oh, the big picture of the thing that I wanted isn't here right now. And that can deter us from keep showing up, right? But at the same time, there's probably small wins that you're having along the way, right? Like there's probably, you showed up today, you posted on Instagram, maybe somebody asked you a question about what you do. Maybe they didn't sign up for your course or your program, but there's evidence that people want and are curious about what it is that you have. And so if we can end our day on a little bit of reflection, and we can also do some tools and techniques and energy to shift our state, you're going to be in a much better space than just not doing any of that stuff and just hoping and praying things are working. And then when you start to self-sabotage, you have nothing to like help get yourself out of that. So this is where, again, you're not necessarily using tools forever, but you are using them while you're in a season of growth to, again, help you in that gap, right? That gap is such a huge piece that I just feel like so many people have, and they don't know how the heck to get out of it and to actually like move past the loop that they kind of get stuck in, right? And so I feel like that's where this work is helpful just as a whole. So if this is something that you struggle with in your business or in your money, right? I work with women in business who are looking to increase their sales, increase their money. They've tried all the content. They know that they need structure and things like that in their business, but implementing it is hard, or following through with it is hard, or they're doing it and they're still not seeing the results. There's probably some internal work that needs to be done. And so that is where Magnetic Money, my coaching program, is going to be super helpful. It's 12 weeks where we work together and I work alongside you to help you get this shift and this change that you're looking to have. We do start in September, so if you're interested in that, the link will be down below. You can also reach out to me on Instagram if you have any questions or you're wondering if it's a good fit for you. It is the lowest price it'll ever be because it is the first one. And so again, if you want to get in on that and some of those savings, make sure you do that. The other thing that I wanted to announce, and depending on where you follow me, you may not know this, but I hosted a money and energy workshop in person on August 11th, which was like last week, I think. And I was able to actually record it, and I have created it into a digital offer. So you can actually go through the money and energy workshop yourself. And I have created that part one is actually free for you. So if you want to dive into part one, this is going to help you understand the nervous system, subconscious mind, and your energy, and kind of how that's influencing your business, as well as there's some reflection questions and things like that in that first part of the workshop that you will be able to work through and answer. And then if you want to continue on with the rest of the workshop, you can unlock that for yourself. That will be a paid portion. But the first part of it you can get for absolutely free. So if that is something that interests you, I will put that down below. You can check it out, see what it's all about. And again, if you have questions, whatever, feel free to reach out to me. Instagram's always the easiest place to get a hold of me. But either or, like if you're like, oh, I don't know if I need coaching yet, but I'm interested in this work and I don't know where to start, that money and energy workshop, that free access will be a great space for you to start. And then even the full workshop if you want to go that route as well. So yeah, that's pretty much what I have for you guys. I hope you guys are having a good day. I hope you're doing well. And I will be back probably next week with another podcast episode. If you're struggling with this work and you have questions, again, reach out to me. We can talk. I don't have to sell you anything. We don't have to talk about anything like that. But if you're like, I don't know where to start, I don't know what to look at, let me know and I can help kind of guide you in the right direction. If you have questions, you're listening to this on YouTube or watching this on YouTube, feel free to ask questions down below, and I will get back to you in the comments. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you for being here, and I will see you guys in the next podcast episode. Bye.